rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatam min lisani yafqahu qawli. Assalamu alaikum everybody and welcome to Ramadan with Zidane. Today is the 2nd of Ramadan. Hope your Ramadan is going healthy, wealthy and wise, and we are going to reap the rahmas and barakahs of this month before this month is out. So we are going to start off from Sura Zumar where we left off. We were on verse 25. Sura Zumar is the 39th chapter of the Qur'an and has 75 verses. And it is located in Juz 23 and Juz 24. So we were starting from where what we were talking about, that basically the Quran, it was revealed, it is a big scripture, and the thing is that it is very powerful, and the disbelievers, they are in grave danger because they are not believing and they will be in trouble. So that is what been given over here. Some examples have been given of the human life cycle. So we are going to go ahead from where we left off. The 26th verse we are going to start. فَأَذَاقَهُمُ اللَّهُ الْخِزْيَ فِي الْحَيَاةِ الدُّنْيَا وَلَعَذَابُ الْآخِرَةِ أَكْبَرُ لَوْ كَانُوا يَعْلَمُونَ. It is said over here that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala made them taste the disgrace not only in this world but also in the world of hereafter. And the world of hereafter, over there the punishment is going to be much worse than what it is in this dunya. And that's the thing, it's not only just a punishment for the hereafter, even in the world there are so many punishments that people cannot imagine, and that's the thing. So we need success not only in the akhirah, in this dunya too. And that's the thing, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam has advised us to do zuhd. And what is zuhd? Zuhd is not what we call the hermetism, which is basically abandoning this world and going. And it has been actually said in Surah Al-Hadid that this was the wrong thing. The thing is that you have to stay in this dunya, have to be an active participant in your community. But the thing is that not love so much this world, all of the world is so much that you forget about the hereafter. Now to this, the next verse. وَلَقَدْ ضَرَبْنَا لِلنَّاسِ فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ لَعَلَّهُمْ يَتَذَكَّرُونَ. And indeed we have put forth for people in this Quran every kind of message so they can remember, just like we find in the previous verses. Now the 28th verse, Qur'anan Arabiyan ghayra dhi iwajin la'allahum yattaqoon. That is that it's a Quran, Arabian, an Arabic Quran, of course in the Arabic language, without any mistakes, so that the people, they avoid the evils. And that is basically the Quran. It is so perfect, there is no mistake in it. People have tried to make verses similar to it, tried to make books similar to it, but the balance and the symmetry of the Quran is that nobody has made to ever challenge this and make such a great verses. Alright, you can see the symmetry in this. Then after that, ضرب الله مثلا رجلا فيه شركاء متشاكسون ورجلا سلما لرجل هل يستويان مثلا قل الحمد لله بل أكثرهم لا يعقلون. Over here it is said that ضرب الله مثلا, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala puts forward an example that there is one person who has a lot of partners in worship, who does shirk, and then one person who worships Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and is sincere to him. Is there any equalness to them? This pattern has been repeated in this surah a lot of times. There is no equal. And this, what the people say, that they both are on equal terms, they both are level, but of course the good deeds and the bad deeds is not a level term. Now after this, the next one, the 30th verse, إِنَّكَ مَيِّتٌ وَإِنَّهُمْ مَيِّتُونَ. Indeed you will die and indeed they will die. But the thing is that the parts are going to be so different. Of course in Surah Al-Ankabut it is said, كُلُّ نَفْسٍ ذَائِقَةُ الْمَوْتِ ثُمَّ إِلَيْنَا تُرْجَعُونَ. You're going to come to us, every soul is going to taste death. Everybody is going to die at one point. But the thing is that it's about what happens after the death and the life after the death, which is important. If we did good in this dunya, then that means that we are going to be good in the akhirah. And the thing is that if we say sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, do good deeds, it's all good for us. And that's the thing. Now after this, it said that what are those two parallel pathways. In the end of this surah, this is also going to be discussed. ثُمَّ إِنَّكُمْ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ عِنْدَ رَبِّكُمْ تَخْتَصِمُونَ. Then indeed, on the day of resurrection, you will be disputing. I'm talking about the disbelievers. They're going to be disputing. And now we're going to start Juz 24, which is فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ. Of course, there's a little part of it. If you want to see the other part of فَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ, do go and check Ramadan with Zidane 2021. You're going to find out all the surahs that are pertaining to that juz. So, وَمَنْ أَظْلَمُ مِمَّنْ كَذَبَ عَلَى اللَّهِ وَكَذَّبَ بِالصِّدْقِ إِذْ جَاءَ أَلَيْسَ فِي جَهَنَّمَ مَثْوًى لِلْكَافِرِينَ. Then who does wrong except that he utters a lie against Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is basically spreading falsehood, and he denies the truth, which is the Quran, and he denies the resurrection, he denies the angels, he denies all of that, and he worships the idols. So that is the thing. This is when the hell is justified upon them. Now after this, the next one, وَالَّذِي جَاءَ بِالصِّدْقِ وَصَدَّقَ بِهِ أُولَٰئِكَ هُمُ الْمُتَّقُونَ. And those people who have brought the truth and those people who have believed in him, those people are the muttaqun, who are the pious people. And we can check in Surah Al-Baqarah chapter number 2 verse number 2, that is explained over there too. Now after this, the next one, the 34th verse, lahum ma yasha'una 'inda rabbihim dhalika jazaa'ul muhsinin. They will have whatever they will desire with their Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That is the reward of those people who are the good doers. Now that's the thing over here. Now the thing is that in a sense, it is all pertaining to what we have done in this dunya. All the deeds, they will be replicated in the hereafter. What I mean is that there will be, of course, some reward for doing all those one single good deeds. That is the thing which is going to happen in the hereafter. Now after this, the next verse, the 35th verse, يُكَفِّرَ اللَّهُ عَنْهُمْ أَسْوَأَ الَّذِي أَمِلُوا وَيَجْزِيَهُمْ أَجْرَهُمْ بِأَحْسَنِ الَّذِي كَانُوا يَعْمَلُونَ. So that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will finish and omit the evil of what they used to did and give them the reward according to what they used to do. That's the thing which I was mentioning in the previous words. The thing is that it's on the level of the good deeds what you do. Now there is different type of Jannah. I'm going to tell you about that. Basically, on the day that we are going to cross the bridge, which is a bridge over the hellfire, on that day, the people, there will be lights coming from their right arm and their heart. And that light, that will basically be a light that can be either like those people who are going to be sabiqun going to Jannatul Firdaus, their light is going to be so big that it can be as bright as coming from Syria to Yemen. It's going to be so bright. Like, can you believe it? Syria and Yemen, that's over 10,000 miles in distance, and even then it's going to be so bright. And some people, they're going to have a very weak light that's going to be almost as like not even a torch's light. It's not even going to dazzle a cockroach. Now the thing is that these two people, they're also going to go into Jannah, but both of them will get a level of Jannah. That's the thing. Some of them will live in very big luxury, some will live in a little level before them, and that's the thing about Jannatul Firdaus, and that's upon the level of the good deeds that you do. That's what's being told over here. Now this, أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِكَافٍ عَبَدًا وَيُخَوِّفُونَكَ بِالَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ وَمَن يُضْلِلِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِنْ هَادٍ. Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sufficient for his slaves, that is for the people that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is? Do not despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It's going to come in verse number 53 of this surah. And yet they try to frighten you with the idols. Now after this, the 37th verse, وَمَنْ يَهْدِ اللَّهُ فَمَا لَهُ مِن مُضِلٍّ أَلَيْسَ اللَّهُ بِعَزِيزٍ ذِي انْتِقَامٍ. And whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guides, there will be nobody to mislead him. Isn't Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the most possessor of retribution, which is basically a kind of revenge? Now after this, the next one, the 38th verse. Now this is a really great verse. I am going to explain about this. First let me read this. وَلَئِنْ سَأَلْتَهُمْ مَنْ خَلَقَ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضَ لَيَقُولُنَّ اللَّهُ قُلْ حَسْبِيَ اللَّهُ عَلَيْهِ يَتَوَكَّلُ الْمُتَوَكِّلُونَ. It is said over here that if you ask them who has created the heaven and the earth, they will say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created them. But still, those people, they do not believe. Why? Now let me tell you about this. The meaning of this is that those people, they knew that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam was on the right path. Abu Jahl knew, Abu Lahab knew. They knew it, but their stubbornness was the reason for their ultimate demise. Now the thing is that they knew that they were about the truth, but they were stubborn. They wanted to prove it wrong, even though they knew they couldn't prove it wrong. And that's why that they knew that when they saw the miracles, but they were still not believing it. They were stubborn. They were trying to get him down, and that's what is said over here in this verse. Now after this, the 39th verse. قُلْ يَا قَوْمِ عَمَلُوا عَلَى مَكَانَتِكُمْ إِنِّي عَامِلٌ فَسَوْفَ تَعْلَمُونَ. It is said that you say, O my people, work according to your way, and I am working according to my way. Then you will soon know. That is basically go on your own way, worship whoever you want, and I'll worship whoever I want. Then after that, the 40th verse. مَنْ يَأْتِهِ عَذَابٌ يُخْزِيهِ وَيَحِلُّ عَلَيْهِ عَذَابٌ مُقِيمٌ. And whoever does a bad deed, of course there's going to be a big punishment coming on him, and then there will be an everlasting punishment. That basically refers that in this dunya there is also going to be a punishment. In the akhirah there is going to be a punishment. 41th verse. Inna anzalna alayka al-kitaba lin-nasi bil-haqq faman ihtada falinafsi wa man dalla fa innama yadillu alayha wa ma anta alayhim biwakil. Over here it is said that indeed we have sent this book to you with truth, which is the Qur'an, as it has been said in the first, second, third verse, and whoever accepts it for his own benefit. It's not for anybody else's benefit. It's not for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's benefit, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He has the angels, and He is the self-sufficient. So He doesn't really need the invoking of many people. He is just seeing that who has the one who is the believer and who is good to him own self, who is good to his own nafs, to his own soul, and sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is what it said. And whoever goes astray, it is only for his own self. He is just attacking him own self. وَمَا أَنْتَ عَلَيْهِمْ وَكِيلٌ, and you are not an imposer upon them. That is said to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, just convey the message, do not impose your message upon them. Now after this, the 42nd verse, Allahu yatawaffal anfusa hina mautiha wallati lam tamut fi manamiha. It is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala who takes the souls at the time of death, and those that do not die during the sleep. Basically the thing is that when we are asleep, then we don't have our consciousness. That's the thing. Our consciousness in some other area, and our our bodies are at another area, so we are not conscious, to be honest. Our consciousness, it is somewhere else, and our body, it is somewhere else. But when we wake up, our consciousness returns. So that is what is being told over here. Now after this, over here, that's what's being said over here, that basically your consciousness, it is in the hands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and then after that He returns that consciousness to you, and that is what the dua is after waking, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has granted us life after death. That is basically the meaning of it. While sleep is not death, but the thing is that sleep is a form where your soul is taken away from your body. So basically, yeah. Now after this, the verse over here, فَيُمْسِكُ الَّتِي قَضَى عَلَيْهَا الْمَوْتَ وَيُرْسِلُ الْأُخْرَى إِلَىٰ أَجَلٍ مُسَمَّى إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَةٍ لِقَوْمٍ يَتَفَكَّرُونَ. Then He keeps the souls for those He has decreed death, and He sends those for a term appointed, basically for a fixed time. Everything that is running, it is on a fixed time. It's gonna end one day. Just like I was talking in the previous episode about the sun and the moon, they are subjected to a fixed time. Then after that, one day they will stop. That's the thing. That's over here, that our lives, they are also at a fixed time. One day they will stop. All right, one day they will finish. We have to embrace that fact, and that is what is told over here. And in that life, we have to live our life to the best, live our life like there is no tomorrow, and live our life to the fullest. And that's what's being told over here. And now Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has said in another surah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives the life to those people, and He makes them old, and when the people go old, they die. But there are some people who die before that age, as there are an example for those people who know. And that is what means that some people die prematurely. Now after this, the next one, أَمِ اتَّخَذُوا مِن دُونِ اللَّهِ شُفَعَاءَ قُلْ أَوَلَوْ كَانُوا لَا يَمْلِكُونَ شَيْئًا وَلَا يَعْقِلُونَ. Have they taken any intercessor over Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? Say that they have no power at all and no intelligence. The thing is that those people who have done shirk, it is an unforgivable sin, and no kind of intercession can save them. Just I was saying that Abu Talib and Azar, they both were asked for intercession, but they had done shirk, so they were not able to be saved. Even though Abu Talib, he did a lot of things with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, but he wasn't a believer. So yeah, there you go. And then after that, the 44th verse, قُلِ اللَّهِ الشَّفَاعَةُ جَمِيعًا لَهُ الْمُلْكُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ ثُمَّ إِلَيْهِ تُرْجَعُونَ. Say, to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala belongs all the intercession, to Him is the kingdoms of the heavens and the earth, and to Him you will return. Now after this, the 45th verse. This is a really great verse, and I think this is really important to learn about. I really like this verse, and this really has a great essence flowing in it. وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ اللَّهُ وَحْدَهُ اشْمَعَزَّتْ قُلُوبُ الَّذِينَ لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ بِالْآخِرَةِ وَإِذَا ذُكِرَ الَّذِينَ مِن دُونِهِ إِذَا هُمْ يَسْتَبْشِرُونَ. When the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and His Prophet are taken, their hearts, they fill with disgust. They are like, now when we, first of all, when the names of any other priest, any other saints, any other pious man, any other religious people, even idols, they start to rejoice in their hearts. When we talk about the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are like, no, okay, fine. But if we talk about some very pious man, they are like, oh, wow, and they are very rejoicing. So that is the thing. First of all, we have to believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, we have to believe in God. Then after that comes the other level. But the thing is that believe in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that is the first and foremost thing. And after this, the 46th verse. This is also a dua, and over here is the dua. قل اللهم فاطر السماوات والأرض عالم الغيب والشهادة أنت تحكم بين عبادك فيما كانوا فيه يختلفون. O Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, say, O Allah, who is the creator of the heavens and the earth, who is the knower of the unseen and the seen, you will judge between your slaves, you will judge between your people on the day of Qiyamah and what they used to differ, which is basically the deen. And aside from that, anything else that there is a differ in, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will judge between that, but we should stay steadfast to our religion. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep us steadfast. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the sabiqun as-sabiqun. Now the 47th verse. وَلَوْ أَنَّ لِلَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مَا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا وَمِثْلَهُ مَعَهُ لَافْتَدَوْا بِهِ مِنْ سُوءِ الْعَذَابِ يَوْمَ الْقِيَامَةِ. And then after that, وَبَدَا لَهُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ مَا لَمْ يَكُونُوا يَحْتَسِبُونَ. So it's said over here that basically those people who did the wrong, basically all the polytheists and all the disbelievers, on that day they will be not ransom. There will be no ransom for them, and they will be falling to the evil torment. They will be in the punishment. That's the thing which has been emphasized in this surah for the past 15 verses, that those people who are right now thinking that they're in such a comfortable position and this person, he will just pass away. The thing is that no, the thing is that they will be in the torment on the day of Qiyamah, and it will be on their faces. Everything will be turned back on them on the day of Qiyamah. Now on the 48th verse, وَبَدَا لَهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا كَسَبُوا وَحَاقَ بِهِمْ مَا كَانُوا بِهِ يَسْتَهْزِئُونَ. And the evils what they earned will be made clear to them, and they will be encircled. They will be surrounded by what those people they used to mock at. So the thing is that on that day they will get a taste of their medicine. Everything that they used to do in this dunya, every bad thing that they used to do, it will be all thrown back on them, and they will find out the azab. And the opposite can be said for the believers. The good things that they used to do, they will be given a good record, as it said in Surah Al-Inshiqaq, they will be given in the right hand, and they will be in the success. They will not be on this only on this dunya in success, they will also be in the akhirah in success. Now after this, the 49th verse. This is another great verse that tells us to the remembrance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. فَإِذَا مَصَّ الْإِنسَانَ ضُرٌّ دَعَانَا ثُمَّ إِذَا خَوَّلْنَاهُ نِعْمَةً مِنَّا قَالَ إِنَّمَا أُوتِيتُهُ عَلَى عِلْمٍ بَلْ هِيَ فِتْنَةٌ وَلَكِنَّ أَكْثَرُهُمْ لَا يَعْلَمُونَ. Now whenever a harm it touches a person, he invokes Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala totally sincere. But when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala saves him, he grants him mercy, then he says, because of the knowledge I have done, I possess this knowledge, this is why I have done this. Now this is the example, classic example of an ungrateful man. The thing is that whenever some harm touches him, he is always invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But whenever anything good comes to him, whenever he is given that respite, he is saying this is all because of what we have done. This was exactly what happened with the Qawm of Ilyas alayhi salam. Whenever a torment, a punishment came to them, then they started invoking Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But whenever that punishment went away, they started returning to their idols. After this, the 50th verse, قَدْ قَالَهَا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ فَمَا أَغْنَى عَنْهُمْ مَا كَانُوا يَكْسِبُونَ. Indeed, those before them, they said it, but that had not earned them anything. Now those people before that, they had heard it, but they had not believed it, and it did not avail them in any aspect. So these are 50 verses right now of Sura Zumar. Now after this is the 51st verse. فَأَصَابَهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا كَسَبُوا وَالَّذِينَ ظَلَمُوا مِنْ هَؤُلَاءِ سَيُصِيبُهُمْ سَيِّئَاتُ مَا كَسَبُوا وَمَا هُمْ بِمُعْجِزِينَ. So the results of what those evil things they did, it took them. Ad, Thamud, the Qawm of Aika, the wood dwellers, and after that those people of Madian, every bad thing that they used to do, it finally overtook them. That punishment, it came to them. And not only the punishment of this dunya, what happened to all those qawms, but in the punishment of the hereafter, it's going to be much worse for them. Now after this, the 52nd verse. أَوَلَمْ يَعْلَمُوا أَنَّ اللَّهَ يَبْسُطُ الرِّزْقَ لِمَنْ يَشَاءُ وَيَقْدِرُ إِنَّ فِي ذَلِكَ لَآيَاتٍ لِقَوْمٍ يُؤْمِنُونَ. Indeed, do they not know that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gives the provision to those whoever he wills, and he finishes or straightens it, he makes it narrow for those people whoever he wills. And indeed these are the signs for those who believe. And that is the thing, it is a sign that this dunya is temporary, and the hereafter it's a great reward. It is the sign of I will not say a punishment, because the thing is that this is just a test. A test is a very calamity coming to them, and they have to stay patient in it. They have to stay steadfast and to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in it, and not to despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And speaking of that, in the 53rd verse is the same thing. قُلْ يَا عِبَادِيَ الَّذِينَ أَسْرَفُوا عَلَىٰ أَنفُسِهِمْ لَا تَقْنَطُوا مِنْ رَحْمَةِ اللَّهِ إِنَّ اللَّهَ يَغْفِرُ الذُّنُوبَ جَمِيعًا إِنَّهُ هُوَ الْغَفُورُ الرَّحِيمُ. Indeed, it is said over here, oh, those people who have transgressed the limits, do not despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives the every sin collectively. Indeed, do not despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it's a big lesson for us too. We should not despair from the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. No matter how hard the calamities come, this is only just a test. We should stay sincere to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will surely finish this. He will lighten this torment upon us. And this is what is said over here in this verse. Really a great reminder for us. We should learn about this, and we should think that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us, because we are the believers and we are the sabiqun as-sabiqun. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from the sabiqun as-sabiqun and grant us Jannatul Firdaus. We'll stop over here, and inshallah tomorrow we'll continue with this glorious surah. I hope everybody has had a great Ramadan so far. I hope that everybody, they have a great Ramadan after this and a great 11 months after this, so we can attain the rahmas and barakas that is in this month and after the months after this. رَبَّنَا أَتْمِمْ لَنَا نُورَنَا وَاغْفِرْ لَنَا إِنَّكَ عَلَى كُلِّ شَيْءٍ قَدِيرٌ رَبَّنَا اغْفِرْ لَنَا وَلِإِخْوَانِنَا الَّذِينَ سَبَقُونَا بِالْإِيمَانِ وَلَا تَجْعَلْ فِي قُلُوبِنَا غِلًّا لِلَّذِينَ آمَنُوا رَبَّنَا إِنَّكَ أَنْتَ الرَّءُوفُ الرَّحِيمُ. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.